Welcome back to Studio 10.
Our next guest has written 18 novels in 14 years. She's a New York Times best-selling author. She's in town signing copies of her latest book, A Long Time Gone. Karen White here with us on Studio 10 this morning. So nice to have you.
Thank you.
I read this morning, 18 novels, 14 years. It's a lot of numbers going through my head at one time.
Right.
And I'm thinking either you're a really fast writer or you're writing more than one at a time. So which is it?
No, I cannot write more than one at a time.
Okay.
And I'm not even a fast writer. I do a lot of self-editing while I go, but I'm a little crazy, I guess. And I do best on deadlines. I get to the point where I'm not writing fast, I'm just writing all the time. I mean, like a 24/7 kind of thing. My deadlines were November 1st. I go to my beach house starting October 1st with my dog. Nobody else is allowed to come. I don't care how much my children beg, and I just work 24/7.
Oh, so I sometimes think, like authors, are they sitting in the car and, oh, here's an idea, or sitting at the dinner table and you have to run over and write it?
Sure.
Is it like that and you just have like a notebook and then you take it to your beach house?
Now it's all on my phone, because with the voice recognition, and so when I get an idea, I have like a whole list. But yeah, I mean, my whole story idea for, I have a mystery series set in Charleston. I was taking a shower and literally the main character just like hit me upside the head and was like, oh, I've got to write her story.
And so you did. And that's how things come to life on paper.
Right.
And all of your stories, the settings in each one of your novels is based on an experience you had, somewhere you've been, right?
Not necessarily. I mean, most of my books are actually set in the South Carolina Low Country, which I adore. But I didn't grow up living there or vacationing there. The first time I visited was about 16 years ago, taking my family on a vacation, and the first smell of the pluff mud, and I was in love. And it was just a feeling, and I'm not one of those authors who really believes you have to write what you know about. I think you need to write what you're passionate about and what you love and what gives you that little tingly feeling in the back of your head.
So places you've been, and you've had a little bit of an experience, like your latest novel, Mississippi.
Right.
That one you do have a real connection to.
Most definitely, yeah.
Tell us about that connection.
My mother was born and raised in Indianola, which is smack dab in the middle of the Delta, the Sunflower County seat. And I lived all over the world because of my dad's job, but my happiest memories were coming home to the Delta and sitting under my grandmother's linoleum table while my mother and her 4 sisters and my grandmother had their Southern girl talk. And those are the voices I still hear when I create my Southern women, my Southern sisters, my grandmother, my grandmothers, my mothers in all of my books. So.
And I think all of us here growing up in the South have that. You can just think about it sitting in the next room. So you can picture it in your head right now. Are you doing that? Yeah. That circular table, they're sitting there, maybe they're fanning themselves because it's really hot. The windows are open, those crank windows.
Yeah, there was no central air. There was 2 air conditioning units, one in like the back family room, one in the bedroom, and that was it.
Oh yeah. So
and it's hot in the Delta.
This book is all about the relationships between mothers and daughters.
Correct, absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about the characters.
Wow, they're all women of the Walker family, and the cotton farm that they live on is passed on through the women in the family. But the women sort of have a tragic legacy. They always leave their families and home behind, but they always come back. So it's a story of 3 women in the family, 1920s, 1960s, and modern day. Of course, there's a little bit of a love story mixed in and a big mystery. Yes, when a skeleton is found in the roots of a cypress tree that has been blown down in a storm.
Okay, so some mystery, some love. Okay, and Southern, so some things that we can all relate to.
Yes.
Okay, so everybody, you can meet Karen for lunch today. It's going to be at noon at the Pelican Patio. That's at 14 North Church Street in downtown Fairhope. And while you're there, be sure you ask her to sign a copy of her new book for you. You'll be happy to do that, right?
Absolutely.
All right, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Cherish. Appreciate it.